It's a great day. My name is Che Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we are on a mission. And our mission really is to empower, our mission is to inspire, and our mission really is to provide you, that's right, you, the hard-working entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And on this episode, we have the one and only Alicia. She's on the other side. She'll be talking about using resilience for growth in your life and career. We'll find out about that. What's going on, Alicia? How you doing?
Jay, hi. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, thank you so much for being a part of this. We appreciate it. And thank you at home for watching, by the way, for allowing us to stream onto your iPad right now, or maybe you're on your mobile device during these very challenging times we live in. So thanks so much for being a part of the show. Before we get started, I'll address the elephant in the room, which is resilience, right? And it means so many things to so many people. My first question I guess I have is, what does resilience mean to you? What does it look like? What's the definition of resilience?
Yes, thanks so much. That's a wonderful question. Right on point with what I talk about to my clients, my team members, my fans, everyone out there. Resilience is the thing that is going to help propel people. It's when you've gone through challenges, you get back up and you come out the other side. And so anyone that you've seen who's been successful has been through a path of resilience. They've got strategies, they've got tips. They use this to not only grow in their lives, in their businesses, but also to get through the day by day.
I like that. So I guess the question is, ladies and gentlemen, I know some of you already know who Alicia is. She's famous all around the world. And others of you, well, you meet her for the very first time. So don't worry. In a few minutes, we'll get into her background. She'll be able to tell us her backstory and how she got here. But I'm curious, why, Alicia, are people struggling these days with just being resilient? I mean, it seems to me they can go right to Instagram, open up a reel, and they get excited and motivated. Seems they can go to AI and just say, hey, I need to be resilient today. What should I do? What should I think? And it just tells them what to do. So I don't want to, sound like this is being funny, but why are people today struggling with being resilient? What's holding them back?
I think that the people of today are just like people from generations ago. We're still complex. We're still human. We need connection. If you can hear a message, you can look up a reel, you can hear a motivational saying, but it's not the same as really getting to know another person and what they have been through. That's why conferences where people go for professional and personal development are so popular. That's why there are people out here trying to be speakers, trying to be coaches, because we know that we're not just flat people. We're complex. And when we can connect with someone, hear their story, and know that we're not alone, that's what resonates with people. So when you think about being resilient, facing challenges, maybe getting rid of the fear that holds you back, it's something that really helps you to know that you are not alone, that you can do it. It gives you that push.
You're not alone. You can do it. I know this is not a therapy session, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm curious, Lisa, what's your view of the world to the person who's leaning in right now and said, look, I want Alicia to know that I had some trauma in my childhood and back in my day. And I've been struggling with just trying to get over that. Again, this is not a counseling session, ladies and gentlemen, but you might be curious what she would say to someone who struggled with trying to get over something that's been bothering them for years and years and years because something happened in their childhood. Are there any words of encouragement or advice that you would give that person? Again, I know, like I said, it's not a counseling session and y'all are at different places, but you got the expert on the other side here. Please share with us, Alicia.
Thank you. I first would like to say that if you are fearing something, facing these feelings that you don't know how to deal with, you can dial 988 in the US. You can reach out for help. Even if you're not ready to deal with something, you think it's too big, too painful, you can still get some help out there. So I just want to put that out there. Mental health is more important, I think, than physical help. And if you think about things that you've been through, you can probably look back and see that you've faced similar challenges. And so use that to help you to move forward. So, Che, the question is, And you called me an expert. So let me just frame that up for you. I had training with Rutgers as a behavioral specialist dealing with kids and their caregivers who were in traumatic situations. In that training, I helped people with programming to get them aware of what they're facing, why it matters, and how they can get through it. So, given that training, and then also being a career coach for over 10 years, I've seen people in situations where they're uncomfortable, unhappy, and uninspired. And so, in order to get through all of this, they should do the first thing that I cite in my book, Emotional Strength Explained. It's to take a good, hard look at themselves, realize that they're only human, that they can get through it, that nothing stays the same. And those things can really help you when you use that to look in on yourself as though it's a camera or a bird. Oftentimes, I do speaking events and I talk about people soaring with resilience. So, if you think of yourself and know that that thing you're going through is a point in time, we don't have to live in our story. We can live on our story. So the more that you talk about the issue, the better off you are. Now, I know you may not be ready, but in my book, Emotional Strength Explained, I talk about the ways to do that. And you can, in 30 days, start to put those feelings out on paper. You can get with a coach, get with a mentor to help you to overcome those painful challenges because they're deep rooted. And I know myself in dealing with things over time, it's not a quick one and done. So just keep in mind that you can do this, you can get through it. And if you're listening right now, remember to dial 988, text 988 if you're feeling like it's too overwhelming.
Well said. I think it's a perfect segue. You gave us a little sneak preview to a little about who you are and your background. Take a moment and tell us a little about that backstory that led to the defining moment where you're now helping people be resilient. You're now helping people by speaking. You're now helping people by coaching them and taking them from where they are to the life they really deserve. So, the question, two-part. Question number one, tell us a little more, who are you? And then what was that defining moment? You said, you know what? I was born to do this.
Mm. Well, Che, my name is Alicia Pozcony. Today you see me as a coach, a speaker, a CEO. I am an author. I've won awards, but that's not how it started. I was born a premature baby. The doctors told me that I wouldn't live to the age I'm living now. And that's something that ties into the whole stream of my entire life. I have faced challenges, ladies and gentlemen, beyond what you can imagine. If you've heard of it or been through it, I've probably been there. I know that many of you have gone through things, and we all have. And the challenges are what got me to the point in my life at the age of 49 when I said, I am not going to put my days living them the way that they are now. The days where I lived in fear, I reserved my words, my thoughts, my judgments, because I was told in some cases to be quiet, to sit down, to stand down. And I was not going to do that any longer. That's when I realized that I had the gift of storytelling. So I began speaking, training with Les Brown, and I actually got approached by people who said, hey, teach me what you do. I want to do that. You can speak for 45 minutes without losing the audience. So that's what I did. I started with the speaker coaching. And I know I had 10 years coaching people in career, seeing their transformation. So that's when I realized that was the moment that I decided I needed to have that transformation, just like I had counseled my clients for 10 years prior.
I love it, by the way. Spot on. Thanks for being so authentic. Thanks for all you do. For the person that's listening says, wow, Shay, she has two segments here. She can help be resilient in life and also be resilient in the career. And depending on when you're seeing this, these are challenging times that we're living in right now. And what are maybe three things that someone could do, let's say, to be resilient in their career? If you could give those suggestions, what would you say right now?
Yeah. So in your career, if you're at a place where you're happy, but you're not sure where the job is going to be in a year from now or even a month from now, the economy is such that we're seeing changes, the laws are changing, things that were there to protect us are being removed. And we see people losing jobs right in front of our eyes. They show up for work and the doors are locked, their badges don't work. Maybe they're unhappy. Maybe they're afraid that things are going to change so much. AI is going to take over. They're going to lose their role. If you're thinking about making a change, or maybe you're not ready to make a change, there's one thing that you both can do. You can both learn and apply a new skill. Continual learning is the thing that helped me to climb the corporate ladder without a college degree. I went back to school when my child was born at age 35, studying by a flashlight while he went to sleep in the crib. But the truth of the matter is, we are going to be tested in this life. And when you're tested, you got two choices. Like my mentor, Les Brown, says, you can either stay where you are or you can get to where you want to go. If you don't make a choice, life takes you on its own path. So if you can look up, you can get up.
I love that. And on the other side, which is being resilient in your life, being resilient so you can grow in your life. What's your view on the world of that? And if someone's listening right now and says, okay, my career, my job's a secure, Shay, but really, how can I be resilient just in my life? What are one, two, or three things you would suggest to that individual so they can live the life they truly deserve? Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's a loaded question. Okay, y'all are all different places, different spaces. Some of you raise your hand and say, "Well, I need help in finances." Someone said, "I need help with my mindset." Someone said, "Well, I need help in a relationship." It's a lot, okay? But I'm asking her if she could come up with maybe two or three ideas. She'll talk about how you can connect with her, get her book, and a lot of other stuff in a moment. But what would you say to the person who says, I'm ready to live a better life. I deserve much more, and I want it?
Well, a few things come to mind, being that people are in different places in their life. When I studied with Tony Robbins, and you may have heard or studied with him yourself, but he lists out the four archetypes of our personality. And I really think that that resonates with a lot of people because it's so true. If you're a dreamer, for example, you need the scientists to come in and tell you the different aspects of what your choices might be. One thing that we have in this life are choices. So, depending on where you live, if you're in the US, you have different choices than if you're in other countries and abroad. But the world is changing, and it's changing so fast because of technology. So, keep in mind that if you're looking to go for something more and you want to go for that, the other thing that I teach is that you can do it. If you've had these beliefs that are put onto you from something you were told or something that you were taught to believe in, even if it differs from your family or from your religion, you want to take that and just bump it up against who you are today. And if you say that, hey, that doesn't feel right, I rather do this, then take a step in that direction. Nothing is permanent in this life except for taxes and death. That's what they say. So if you are in a place where you want to try something, you can take that step toward that goal and see how it feels. We're very fortunate to live in this day and age, Jay.
Yeah, I'd agree with you 100%. It sounds like you really enjoy what you're doing. I can hear the excitement in your voice. You get a big smile when you start sharing how people can better themselves. What do you enjoy most about what you're doing these days?
Thanks for that question. I've been told that I was smart and fun and strong. And you ever go through your life when you look at yourself and you ask, how did I get here? Is this really what I want? Well, when I was at a point in my life when I had a good place in my career, climbing the corporate ladder, I had a family, I was fortunate enough with my health, and I I still felt like there was something missing. And so the reason why I am so involved and so passionate about what I do is because I realize that I have a servant's heart, and being able to give back getting paid to do what I love, that is the gift all in of itself. So it's genuine and it's authentic. So I challenge you to think about who you are. If you're listening to this, if you're watching this, think about who you are and who you want to be. It starts with you.
I love it, man. Spot on. You know, it's a good segue to a segment we have here called Today is My January 1st. Now, for those folks who tune in every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you know exactly what we're about to do. In fact, you might wait to say those magical words. Today is my January 1st. Happy New Year to you, by the way. And for all the new folks who are watching for the very first time, you might be wondering, Shay, today is my January 1st. What is that all about? Well, today is my January 1st is our personal mantra here at the Happy Entrepreneur Show. It represents a fresh start. It represents a do-over. It means our past, no matter how dark and gloomy that past is, or how bright and sunny that past is back there, the past really no longer equals the future. And so my question for Alicia on the other side is really a two-part question. Number one, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, what do you hear? And number two, what was another setback you might have had in your journey of life, and how were you able to bounce back from it?
You know, Shay, I had thought about this, and January 1st is always a great day for me. New Year's Eve, my family sits down and we do fondue. And we have games every hour. And so if you could imagine, it's a celebration that we do to kick off to prepare for the new year. The other thing I do is I create a vision board. And those things in the vision board have been coming true the past few years. And so again, living with intention, it's the thing that I do now. However, it wasn't always that way. I grew up with a mentally ill mother. My father abandoned me. I lived in an urban jungle where I had to sometimes run home from school every day. I tell this story not to be looked at or pitied, but I want you to know that what you see isn't always what you know happened. And one of the things that happened to me was when I was in high school, I dropped out because they told me I had too many absences. Now, I had gone to Key Club where I was the secretary and I tried to do good in the community. Well, they saw me as being absent and they didn't want to waive that when the lunch hour spilled over into the next class. And so I had a choice. I made the choice that day to, instead of going to summer school my senior year, not getting to walk down the graduation aisle with my classmates, I made a choice to go my own way. And I was fortunate enough to go get my GED, then get enrolled in a program for information technology. That kicked off my entire career in technology, leading up to me today where I am as the VP at the bank. And it's kind of the same trajectory. I've seen people make this decision when they just say yes to themselves, they give permission. And that is the January 1st I would have to go with. That back when I was in high school, it was not a good place to be. And I made my own choice to go my own path. So when you're unsure of what's going on or you're in a situation, you can change. You can always do better. And that's the main goal and the main theme around everything that I do.
Thanks for being so authentic, so transparent. You have a heart to give, and you certainly have a heart to serve. So thank you so much. You know, one of the questions I love to ask when we have a few minutes, and we have a few minutes now, is what's one of the best pieces of advice you've ever been given? Now, you've been given a lot of advice. You already quoted a number of mentors you work with. I'm sure along this journey of life, you probably read more books than you can even recall these days. Who knows how many videos we watch anymore? We watch so many video and trainings that just lose track of the hours. But if you had to step back and say, wow, Shay, here's one of the best pieces of advice I've ever been given and why, what would you share with the audience?
Mm. My favorite piece of advice is one that I got from Barbara Corcoran. She is wonderful in real estate investing all her life. She was one of 10 children who came up with humble beginnings, and she always listened to her business sense, and it took her places. She lived her life in business with few regrets. And so, the piece of advice that really resonates with me the most, that I would tell my younger self if I was able, is that you should make decisions and fail fast. And what that means is, whether in business or in life, make a decision. If you're stressing over something, action is what's going to get you past it. Action is what's going to bring you results. And so make those decisions. And even if you're not going to make the right decision, unbeknownst to you can fail fast, because then you can make another decision to get you to where you want to go. And that, I think, is something that is going to serve you in your professional life as well as your personal life. That if you can make a decision, trust yourself, trust your instincts, and then move to that next step, failing fast, so that you recognize the mistake, you recognize the failure, and then move on.
I love it. Good advice, by the way. I just love what you're doing. Resilience, how to use it to have more growth in your life and in your career. When you look back over time, I guess one of the questions I have as we're coming down the home stretch is for the person out there that says, I love it, Shay. I think I'm back on track, but I'm curious, how is Elisa able to be consistent? Because Shay, I get on track and then I get off track. Now, it might not be all of you. Maybe I'll just raise two of my hands, okay? But the question we ask her is, what is her suggestion so you can be consistent? So once you do get back on track, you can be consistent over and over and over again. What are your thoughts? What are your advice to someone out there saying, yep, that's where I'm at. I'm back in the game, but I got to be consistent?
Yeah, it's consistency is something that may not be easy for all of us, myself included. I've been in situations where I set a goal for myself personally, let's say exercise related or something in business. Let's say I'm going to sign up for this course online, I'm going to take it, I'm going to complete it to the end. How many of us sign up for something and then don't finish it? Well, we're busy. So there's a few things I do to stay on track. I keep a calendar so that keeps me accountable. I also have partnerships with people to stay accountable. And that's the number one thing you can do to stay consistent, which is to keep that accountability for yourself, whether it's with tools, you have different things online you can use, or on a calendar, or with people. So whether you get a coach or you have an accountability partner, those are the things that's going to help you to stay consistent. I think that, there's other things too, like checking in with yourself. For example, in the morning, I take time just to make sure that I start out the right way. And you can do that both personally and professionally. But I think that that's going to also set you up for success and keep you aligned, keep you on track daily. When you commit, regardless of whatever challenges you face, you can get to where you want to go. And resilience, again, resilience is the thing that's going to get you where you want to go, because you know how to face challenges. You don't face them with an emotional response. You have emotional strength and you're able to face them with logic. So it helps you to make better decisions. It helps you to know where you're going to go. And that resilience is going to help you to grow. As my mother always said, you don't have to just go through it, you can grow through it.
And as you talk about that, we've been looking over your shoulder. We've been cheating, by the way. We love your mother's quote, by the way. That's spot on. And we're looking by it, says, push yourself. No one else is going to do it for you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, she has it right there. She has it right there. She can see it. I mean, it's like right there. Why is it there? And how does that motivate and inspire you? And I'm always curious what people keep around them to keep them going. So is there a backstory to what you have? And ladies and gentlemen, you can see it right on her left-hand side, your right-hand side right now. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so that came from Amazon. And when I ordered that, it really summed up what I've always been doing. I knew that it wasn't up to someone else. It was up to me. And that's something that really helps people that I coach and counsel, that if they know that it's up to them, that people count on them and people see them as the example, it helps them to be responsible. And not only that, but it helps them to go farther. So when you push yourself, you know that you're taking the steps, and therefore you're not going to give up, because when you work hard at something, it helps you to get to where you want to go. And it's all that more important.
What do you do for fun when you're not out saving the world, making everyone else have a better life? What do you do for fun that brings you joy and happiness?
Well, I love to read. I love to go to concerts. I need to count how many I've been to. It's probably, well, without saying my age, it has to be over 50.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun, by the way, just to get out and release and read and watch a concert and enjoy that. As we come down the home stretch, a two-part question. Number one, what type of clients is your firm looking to work with these days, if any? And number two, how can folks connect with you? How can they stay in this conversation over and beyond today so they can stay connected with you and your books and what you have?
Thank you. Well, I have a number of things. I have offering to partner and co-author a book with me. I have also an offer for being a guest on one of my podcasts. I have two podcasts, Resilient You and also Rise and Resonate. Both of those are options. So if you're interested, you can reach out to me on all the socials. I'm available at Alicia Pozcony. And if you're interested in working with me as a coach, I can help you in your business and your personal. If you're interested in that, I have one-on-one coaching, as well as I have a new Power Your Life group that has recently started. We're working on different things, all in my skill set, in line with career coaching, with also speaking. And if you're looking for me as a speaker coach or a speaker, I'm available for both of those as well.
But let me say thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We appreciate it. We know you can always make more money, but you can't make more time. And you're giving us the most precious resource you have, which is your time. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Shay. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. And thank you, the viewers. Thank you for tuning in, by the way, because without you, we don't have a show. So we appreciate you allowing us to stream and broadcast into your home during these times. That really means a lot to us. And I never get tired of reminding you every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, no matter what's going on in your life, no matter what you're going through, whether you've been hit with the punch that you never saw coming, or you're on the upgo, like you're going to that next level of success. Here's what I believe. I believe that today, you woke up this morning, is your January 1st. And because of just that one reason alone, I believe your best is still yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. With that being said, my name is Shay Brown. It hasn't changed. The Happy Entrepreneur. We out of here. Peace. Thanks a lot, Alicia. We'll see you guys on the other side. Bye-bye.